The lowly push-up. It doesn't get nearly enough fanfare as it should. Yes, it's been around forever, but there's a reason for that. It's one of the most effective exercises you can do, perhaps second only to the squat. Yes, you will be able to build and develop your chest muscles, upper, middle, and lower, but also your front shoulder muscles, your triceps, your forearms, hands, and your core. It's definitely not to be overlooked. But you're probably making one of these mistakes when doing push-ups. The following tips will help you do push-ups correctly and help you do much more of them in a matter of weeks. Now let's get into it. Number 1, stop doing push-ups daily. One thing you never want to do is overtrain. To get better at push-ups, you need to stop doing them daily. Your muscles need to grow and develop after a good workout. In fact, it's imperative that you rest in order to improve your strength. While training every day may seem like the quickest way to achieving your goals, spreading out the days that you do push-ups will certainly be a quicker method to increasing the amount of push-ups you can ultimately do. Give yourself a rest day in between push-up workouts, ideally about 48 hours. Number 2, not warming up and stretching. You never want to work out a cold body. Simple warm-up exercises will make a huge difference in the amount of gains you can produce and in the quickest amount of time. You could do simple ballistic warm-ups such as arm swings and push-up-like chest movements for your arms while standing. Also, reach your arms straight up towards the sky or ceiling. Then open your fingers wide and pull down across and backward to feel the stretch across your pec muscles. Repeat this about 3 times. Stretching is equally as important, and you want to keep stretching at a greater amount at the beginning of your workout rather than at the end. Stretching after a workout can negatively impact your gains, and while stretching at the beginning of your routine will prepare your muscles for exertion. Try to aim for a quick 5-minute warm-up and stretch of your chest before you begin. Number 3, using improper form. Here are some things not to do. Stop having a rounded back and not engaging your core. Rounding your back during a push-up can negatively affect your gains in 2 ways. First, a rounded concave back can actually make the push-ups harder and potentially lead to a shoulder injury, while a convex-shaped back can take too much weight off your push-up and hinder potential gains. Unless you are beginning and need help with push-ups, avoid any curvature in your back. Try your best to focus on keeping your core as tight as possible, straight as an arrow. Next, watch out for flared elbows. It is very important that your arms are in proper form. If your elbows are flared out too far, you can put pressure on joints that can lead to pain or injury. While changing the position of your hands is ideal for push-ups, flared elbows are not and should be avoided. Keep your elbows at 45 degrees from your body. This will, of course, vary slightly with your hand positions during narrow and wide push-ups, but the idea is to keep your elbows at a natural position regardless of hand position. Listen to your body. If it doesn't feel good on your elbows, move positions. We want gains, not injuries. Okay, so what form and procedure should you do? Well, let's start with the fundamental arm width. Get yourself a yoga mat or something similar that will help cushion your wrists and keep your toes from sliding. Get on all fours and align your hands about shoulder length apart. Keep your hands flat on the floor, or if you have wrist issues, try using push-up bars or use a set of dumbbells for a different grip. Have your hands pointed straight forward with perhaps a slight angle outwards. Next, walk your feet back to the point where your entire body is straight. You are looking for a straight line from your head through your hips and down to your toes. Have your feet fairly close together at first and have your body weight on the balls of the feet. As best you can, try to avoid any curve in your back, up or down. You want to be as straight as possible. Now, ease your body down to the floor deliberately. You are looking for form, not speed. Keep going until your chest is about 1 inch from the floor. Take your time going down and be intentional. When you reach the floor, push back up all the way until your arms are straight. Make sure you do a full movement and avoid going up only part way. Squeeze your glutes and your core to help you stay as straight as possible. If you are a beginner, it's a good idea to drop your knees down to help you complete the push-up. This will help you grow to eventually doing a proper push-up form. Number 4, not being consistent. You must prioritize push-ups as you would with anything that you really want. If your goal is to get better at anything, then you need to prioritize it. This does not mean overdoing the exercise as we discussed earlier. Rather, it is setting push-ups high on your list of things to do. If you're consistent with your workouts, then the priority will be not to skip a day that is scheduled for push-ups. If you are struggling with them, then do them first thing in your routine. Face your obstacles and overcome them. Second, you must write it down. It's very difficult to know the progress you've made if you don't know where you started. You must have a baseline, and you must have a progression of workouts, day to day, week to week, month to month. So if your first day is only a half a push-up, write it down. If it's 10 push-ups, write it down. Put a date next to it and look at that number right before your next push-up workout. This will provide you the target goal for you to hit and ideally exceed. The number 5 mistake is not using progression and variation. Progression is crucial to muscle growth and gains. The idea is to overload your muscles so that they will respond and grow with greater strength. Progression is the only true way to improve your overall physical health. The key with progression is to only measure against yourself. Everything else is irrelevant. Pay no attention to what others do or an artificial number. So, for example, if you can only do 5 push-ups, your progressive goal is 6, and so on. If you can do push-ups rather easy, then your progression is to add weight or advanced variations. For variations, there are a number of alternatives that you can incorporate into your routine. Remember, you only want to do variations on push-ups once you can do them fairly easy and with proper form. A good rule of thumb is 3 sets of 8 reps each. If that is easy, then it's time to incorporate variations. Some of the most effective are: first, put your legs on a chair and incorporate more of your shoulders. Second, a military style with your arms pinching your sides. Third is a plyo push-up where you push yourself off the ground and get airborne. Incorporate a hand clap if you can. And fourth, Spider-Man push-ups where you raise one knee to your chest and perform the push-up. Alternate back and forth. Number 6 is not resting between sets. We talked about not doing push-up routines too often. The same holds true for allowing yourself to recover in between sets. This is really an art form, and you need to listen closely to your body. You will often see people in the gym resting for several minutes in between sets. Don't do this. Conversely, don't do another push-up set right after completing the other. It might as well be the same set. So there is no single formula here, but pay attention to your heart rate. If you are pumping fast after a good set, rest a little until your heart rate returns to a comfortable rate. Not your resting rate because you're working out, but a rate where you feel ready to knock out another set. Again, listen to your body and make the adjustments you need. Rest in between 3 separate push-up sets. Finally, a little bonus. End your push-up workouts with a plank. One of the most overlooked areas for successful push-ups is core strength. It's not often thought about when trying to increase your chest strength, but with all compound exercises, it's the combination of movement that dictates success. Here, given that a push-up is ideally performed with a straight body from head to toe, the core is integral to that form. So end your workout with a plank. Hold it as long as possible and as straight as possible. For an advanced variation, go down to your elbows, then back up to your wrists while keeping your core locked and straight. Push-ups are a compound exercise, and critical to that recipe is developing your core as much as possible. Check out this video to learn more about the importance of stretching and flexibility, and we'll see you in the next one.